W's and L's, the weekly recap show where we give a dub to the things that we do like and an L to the things that we don't. You can go ahead and go first.
Nah. Go ahead, bro. I went first last 2 weeks.
I know, but I realized that my shit isn't actually.
Oh,
it's together.
Ill prepared.
All right, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. 2 L's, 1 dub. First L. Nancy Reagan.
Fuck. You took one of mine. No, we got
Nancy Reagan being the national symbol of the Toppers committee.
Being the throat goat. Being the throatist.
Damn, so she was known for sucking up MGM execs and end up being the first lady. So I guess the tradition of having mail order wives is older than we thought. Predates Melania. Damn, man.
She got the ring because of her skills. That is hilarious. What's even more hilarious is that, okay, so the reason we all found out about this is because some conservative chick decided to compare Nancy Reagan to Madonna. Madonna is 63 years old. She's posting a lot of like promiscuous photos on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like, well, this is Madonna at 63. This is Nancy Reagan at 64, and posts some sort of family.
Oh,
thing.
as if like this is what Nancy Reagan was doing, and now look at Madonna out here being whorish, knowing that Nancy Reagan was out here giving the Glock 5,000 to all the MGM execs back in the day.
Replies and said, "Oh, this Nancy Reagan, this you, fam."
Damn.
And so
wait, it's photo evidence?
It was in a book.
Oh, okay.
So somebody did some sort of
somebody
wrote a book,
or something,
some memoirs, and basically said, Nancy Reagan was out here topping everybody.
Damn, son.
So she caught strays when she didn't even have to.
Yeah, screw Nancy Reagan. She assisted in the war on drugs. So.
Yep, and she was probably
fuck
giving
them
top
both.
while doing it.
Just say no. Just say no. Second L. It's going to your boy.
What up?
While perusing Twitter on Saturday night, I found out that this loser not only blocked several reputable Michigan pages.
Fuck them niggas.
Just to name a few, Aiden Hutchinson. I believe Quiddy Pay was on there. It was random. In the NFL.
Fuck them niggas.
Clayton Safey. Shout out to Clayton Safey, man. Michigan insider from the Wolverine.
Fuck him.
But the icing on the cake was the fact of how I found out. So I'm sitting here and I'm watching the video of Desmond Howard jabbing CJ Stroud, which we will talk about here in a second. And I'm scrolling down through the comments. A bunch of butthurt Ohio State fans. Act like you've been here. Act like you won. Blah, blah, blah,
and then
blah,
you
blah.
stumbled across this tweet includes a word that you muted.
Yes.
Which
So
I knew you would do.
What the fuck?
Because I know how Twitter works.
Like, what word could possibly be blocked on here that I can't see it? Michigan.
Which is why I don't know why you're making this a big thing. Like, I knew you were going to see that.
How long ago did you do it?
And that's the craziest part about it is I did it weeks ago.
Yeah, and I didn't find any of that. I didn't notice. Like,
that's why it's so crazy to me.
But just imagine how much more overfloated I would be with Michigan championship content if you didn't block all that stuff.
Well, if you had your own Twitter,
why
you
deprive
with it?
No.
Get your own Twitter, bro.
No.
Get your own Twitter. You like Twitter.
That's not how this works. I'm not going to be coerced into ingratiating even more of my life into social media because you don't want to own this loss.
Well, you wouldn't be ingratiating yourself more into
by creating an account. Or I have one, but
that's my point.
Using you Twitter personally, and
you use the podcast as Twitter, so why not just have your own?
I use the podcast Twitter for podcast purposes. See, the thing is that if Ohio State would have won the Big Ten championship, I would have expected to see nothing but Ohio State shit in my feed, and you retweeting it because Ohio State won.
Well, no, because I would be retweeting it from my own account.
Josh,
like I do currently.
Josh, can you tell the truth for a second? If Ohio State would have won, the same things that you're complaining about seeing on our page from the Michigan standpoint, I would have been in the same boat looking at Ohio State content. You telling me you wouldn't have logged in there and retweet? So then let me ask you this: if you
no. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have retweeted a couple things from the Back of the Bus podcast, which is fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem with you doing it for Michigan. But I would have tweeted and retweeted a lot more on my own personal account, and you wouldn't have seen. Literally, I got on the timeline. This is why I did it, because it was nothing but Michigan. Like at one point, it was nothing but recast T'Challa. Cool. All right. Cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't got no problem with that. It was nothing but Michigan shit. I'm just like, dog.
Josh, the last 2 weeks, Michigan has won a Big Ten championship, and they've also beat the shit out of Ohio State. I think
State,
okay.
You beat the shit out of Iowa.
Ask your offensive line and your defensive line whether or not we beat the shit out of
Ohio State. You beat the shit out of Iowa.
Ask your offensive and defensive linemen. Shit. Ask fucking what's 75's name? What's 75's name? DeJuan Jones. Ask DeJuan Jones if we kick their ass. Ask DeJuan Jones if we kick their ass. Ask Ronnie Hickman if we kick their ass.
What you did to Iowa. That's not what
Fam,
you did to Ohio State.
300 yards on the ground.
You didn't.
That's an ass kicking in any football game.
You won by 2 scores?
Excuse me. 300 yards on the ground is an ass kicking in any football game. Game.
How much happened to y'all on the other side of the field?
What you talking about?
Passing yards.
No, we got 300 yards on the ground and won. Y'all got 60 yards on the ground and lost. Josh, you've played football before. Running the football, that's domination. So if somebody dominates you running the football, the score is not that. I can beat you by 10 points, but if I put 400 yards on the ground on you and you played in that game, we kicked y'all's ass.
If you put
that means we're literally
you only won by 2 scores.
That means we are literally walking you up the field. We're not throwing it. We're not getting big plays throwing the ball. We're dominating you up and down the field.
What happens if you did that and you lost? Does that mean you still beat the shit out of that team?
No, because we lost. Because we lost. You can't claim that you beat the shit out of somebody if you lost. So then the
score means something.
We beat y'all by 2 scores, and we did it mostly on the ground. You played football. If you were a defensive tackle and the other team ran the ball 60 times for 300 yards, would you not say that you got your ass kicked?
Is there not a difference between what you did to us?
You're not answering the question.
And what you did to Iowa?
Yes, except we scored 42 points on both of y'all.
Yeah, the difference is we scored a lot more than Iowa did.
Right, because you're better than Iowa. That doesn't mean that you didn't take an ass beating.
You didn't beat the shit out of Ohio State. You beat us, but you didn't beat the shit out of Ohio State. My only dub goes to Megan Thee Stallion.
I was supposed to give her a dub. Congratulations.
She has graduated. I don't even remember what college it was.
Texas Southern.
Oh, TSU.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Wait, is it Texas Southern or Georgia Southern? I think it's Texas Southern.
It's Texas Southern. Yeah, but I couldn't remember what it was. Anyway. She graduated from Texas Southern, so congratulations on Megan the graduate out here graduating, even though she has a rap career. Most people probably would have just gave up on college as soon as they got that rap check, but not Megan Thee Stallion, so shout out to her for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to give an L to Drake because him and Kanye did that concert, and from what I was seeing, Kanye did all the hits. Drake decided to just do Certified Lover Boy, which nobody was a fan of.
Gross.
Very gross.
I heard he covered 24 though.
Yeah, but even that is like one of the best things you did in your moment was
Kanye song. Seems pretty fitting to me.
That's gross. And if this is supposed to be their Kanye versus
seems
Drake
to be
moment,
pretty fitting
he
for
lost.
me. I don't think it was boofed up to that.
They're
done fake beefing, so now it's time to make money.
It's so gross too. Like them dancing during each other's sets. It just seems fake. The whole thing is just
We're all done with the fake beef. Now it's time to kick it. You see, how many times have we played this playbook before?
I know, but
how many times have we seen it?
It's so fake. I don't like it. I don't like one bit about it, and that's why
when it's all said and done, though, Drake will have a more stellar record than he deserves because of these kind of things. I think he'll have a more spotless reputation than probably what he deserves because of these shows that he be putting on with these rappers.
Yeah.
With him and Meek, with him and Kanye. Like, I feel like a lot of the things that we find toxic in other people, we excuse from bro. Like, I don't know how many men would gravitate to a person or another man who is always seeming to be around other people's women or to talk about other people's significant others in their songs, in their music, freely, willy-nilly. Talking about his sexual exploits with different women. Like, I see a lot of y'all, let's take it back to Twitter for a second, I guess. See a lot of you social media doctors talking about the toxicity of men and the way that they address women, but have sit around just as comfortably while Drake sits up here and talks about how the fact that all strippers don't have fathers and mothers that don't care about them, and sending all of y'all back to Section 8 housing after he's done fucking you. Like, he's obsessed with sending people back to Section 8.
No, legit. It's in so many of
He hates songs. If you are in the Jets right now, Drake hates you.
Yep.
Like, that's just the fact.
Drake wants to use
and he wants to send your ass straight back there when he get done with you.
Yep.
And it's a cool line, I guess. It's a cool thing. It's a lot of toxic shit.
Ew, Drake is fresh and fit. Very transactional.
You know who actually deserves a L in that? Travis Scott.
Yeah, nope, I agree.
Travis fucking Scott. Dog, you made one of the biggest songs of the year with Drake, and it ended up being a diss to Kanye. Put it on your album, co-signed it. This man fucked your wife or your girl, baby mom, whatever.
And
like, what a loser.
He was able to go and do a concert. If niggas caught you on a concert stage, it'd be hell.
Dog, what a loser. So he fucks your wife and then convinces you to make a diss track about your brother-in-law. Some of you niggas are just, I don't understand you. I don't get it. I don't know who raised you. I don't know who taught y'all to move like this. But it's really not. That makes me feel a whole type of way about Travis. Because it's like, man, you had all this heat for Kanye because you was Drake's friend and you know what I'm saying? Y'all was so close. This man fucked your wife. And you're helping him make a song about fucking someone else's wife. Like, oh my God, that makes my skin crawl. Yeah. I cannot. I can't even fathom it.
My next L goes to Lil Duval.
Not Duval.
Lil Duval tweeted, Kodak really up there with Kendrick lyrically, but y'all don't want to hear it though. Okay. So if I'm actually going to do a somewhat of a dive into this tweet, Kendrick is not like a lot of different rappers lyrically. I mean, in one sense, I mean, he is great at what he does. I think he uses a lot of different poetic devices to do something that a lot of rappers just don't do, right? He is great at what he does lyrically. Do I think he has like the best wordplay? Do I think he has all these over the head bars that niggas gotta play a few times to get? No. Right? When he says something, it hits you right away. That's part of the reason why he's so good at what he does. Because in some cases, that's what you want out of a rapper. Mm-hmm. In no way, shape, or form is Kodak Black a better lyrical rapper than Kendrick Lamar. That's probably the
better
most,
anything rapper than Kendrick Lamar.
That's probably the most asinine thing I think I've ever heard.
It's not a better anything.
No. He made, well, I'm sure if
Kendrick,
No, I was gonna say, I'm sure if Kendrick decided to make trap music, it'd probably still sound better than what Kodak would do.
Yes. Yeah. So 1000%.
Yeah.
If Kendrick took every beat that Kodak ever rapped on, he would murder every song. Yep. Every single one.
Oh no, he'd murder it for sure.
Every single one. I don't understand. Like, I used to hear this a lot when I was listening to The Breakfast Club when we were still driving to work every morning. Mm-hmm. Charlamagne used to say this a lot, like, "Yeah, Kodak be spitting." Spitting what? I don't even understand what he's saying half the time. You don't want to know the baby, what I need. You know the beat, and I need.
Like, look, Kodak can be a decent artist. Obviously, he's the reason why Cardi eventually made Bodak Yellow. He can have good hooks, all of that. None of that makes him a better rapper than Kendrick Lamar in any shape or form.
Yeah, that was a hot take, Duval.
That's probably the worst take I've ever heard against Kendrick. Like, some of my favorite rappers might be better lyrically than Kendrick Lamar, but what you can't take away from Kendrick Lamar is that he is a legendary rapper, and that Kodak a nigga like Kodak Black is not even.
Come on, fam.
Is not even up to snuff in any way. My last L goes to Master P and Hersey Miller.
I'm sorry, what? Master P and Percy Miller?
Master P and Hersey Miller.
Who the fuck is Hersey?
His son.
Romeo's real name is Hersey?
No, his name is Percy Jr., I think. Master P has...
He has another son named Hersey.
Master P has Percy, Hersey, and I think Versey, if I'm not mistaken. He might have Mercy, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not making a joke. This is
how
legit.
do niggas get all this money and can't name their kids?
Well, we talked about Hersey before.
George Foreman
named
all of his kids George.
Yeah.
And this nigga is so obsessed with the Hersey in his name that he gave it to all his children.
We've spoken about Hersey Miller before.
Hersey Miller.
In our name, image, and likeness conversation, Hersey Miller received $2 million when he went to Tennessee State.
The football player.
Basketball player.
Basketball. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
So, yeah. Bro made, I think, $2 million off of a contract when he decided to commit to Tennessee State. Since then, Hersey Miller, being a freshman, hasn't played so well. He's averaging like 2 points a game, maybe. But you're a freshman, so I'm not going to blame any of that on you. You got to earn your playing time. But I believe he recently got injured as well, which probably leads to that fact. And now, because according to Master P, HBCUs don't have the resources or facilities that are up to snuff, Hersey Miller is leaving Tennessee State.
Wow.
So Master P.
So since Tennessee State was lacking, then all HBCUs everywhere are lacking, huh? Yeah, that sounds like a pretty shrewd business move. So it makes me feel like his father was heavily involved. It's very interesting. I'm interested to see where he goes next because Percy Miller is the do black, buy black, spin black guy, right? Like that's the guy he's encouraging. You want us to come and support your black business. You gonna take your son out of the HBCU and let him go hoop with the white people?
And you're worth. I'm not going to be in his pocket so like
little hypocritical.
You can't donate a little bit to fix.
No, he got too many fucking kids to be donating to every college that his son go to or that his kids go to. But what I will say is that it is just generally hypocritical to pull your son out of a HBCU, send him to a PWI, and then preach to everybody about buying black and staying in the community and whatnot.
Plus, that institution just helped you get your son get $2 million.
And you over here talking about the facilities. Boy, you hoop. Do they have a gym? Like what? It ain't football, man. Like basketball players, yeah, I mean y'all work out, y'all in shape or whatever, but y'all can do that shit at the Y.
Facts.
Fucking free weights and a treadmill. What the hell? What? You can go bench pressing your dorm, fam. Do they have a court? Is the Pinewood ample?
Well,
do they have the NBA 3-point line taped down somewhere in the gym? That's all. Oh, but you sure did take that $2 million, huh? It's funny that he found out the facilities were lacking after he got his $2 million.
For sure. They say, literally, he says, a lack of medical resources within the athletics department. Because he
got a condition?
His son did not receive proper medical attention after suffering a hip injury.
That's something a little different. That's something different. If he putting his league hopes at risk, that's different.
Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't see this. It says, Master P, whose name is Percy Miller, said his son did not receive proper medical attention after suffering a hip injury in the Tigers' first game of the season, and an improper diagnosis nearly led to the end of Hersey's playing career.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he out. He's out. I take back everything I said.
I didn't see that.
I take back everything I said.
I didn't see that. That's
so different. Yes, yeah, no, we would have ran up out of there. You couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Yeah, no, you're getting
misdiagnosed this nigga, and he was never going to play basketball again.
Yeah, that's
terrible.
That's a little different.
I still don't think that he has to. So, what specifically did the son say about the? It was just at that school. He didn't say about all HBCUs. He was talking about the lack of medical.
Master P told TMZ Sports that HBCUs need increased funding to get their medical services up to par with major college programs. Well, which is obvious.
No, and that's fair, because in spite of all of the proposed, right, HBCU money that President Biden told us that we were going to get, I think a lot of that money got slashed. So great job, Biden Harris.
And then I think Tennessee withheld money that HBCUs were supposed to get.
Probably. And I mean, that's a real thing. HBCU funding definitely lacking. Do you need to use your pulpit to demonize all medical staffs of HBCU schools? I don't think so. I think Primetime would probably have a problem with that down there at Jackson State. I think Grambling would probably have a problem with that. I think Georgia Southern would probably have a problem with that. I think, a lot of HBCUs would have a problem with you describing their medical staffs as subpar. Now, are there some that are subpar? Absolutely. When you have a lack of money, you have a lack of resource. But that doesn't mean that we should. It's kind of how, like, when we were talking about when bad things happen to celebrities in their hometowns, and then people use that as an excuse to tell people who gain money to get out of their hometowns and go live somewhere else, live in the suburbs. Mm-hmm. It's a problem that perpetuates itself, and it takes a lot of compartmentalizing to separate the two, right? Mm-hmm. To look at the tragedy that is befalling your community, but also try to keep it isolated in a way that you don't then hurt your community even more, trying to overcorrect the problem. Because you telling wealthy people to take their wealth out of your neighborhood only makes things worse. You telling the people of wealth and stature and have careers to leave their neighborhoods and go live in suburbs only makes your situation where you're going to continue to live worse. So I feel like that's a little bit of what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, that's really weird that some articles mention the diagnosis and some don't. It's really weird.
So now in the ones that don't mention it, it just sounds like Master P, like how I took it. Like Master P just trying to pull his black kid out of a black school, saying that they don't got enough to provide for him. Yeah. Yep.
That's nuts. I don't like that.
I don't like it either.
You can just admit one fact and it changes the entire.
Yeah, I don't like the narrative that it sets, and I also don't like the fact that the narrative was set because they omitted information. That's nuts.
I'm glad I actually found an article that told the truth.
Read the articles, folks.
Oh no, I read the article.
Read the article.
I just read
no, I'm saying like just in general,
do more research. Don't just take one
actual research, not a Google search. Real research. Click onto the link and read it. And then go to another one and read that one and compare.
And check your sources.
There you go.
Any other thoughts? Any dubs, L's, anything else that needs to be mentioned?
Nah, man. Give us your dubs and L's down here in the comments. Let us know what you won, what you lost at this week. Or if you want to shout anybody else out on their successes or their losses this week, go ahead and tell us in the comments below.
Make sure you check out our playlist below full of W's and L's from the past, as well as to the right over here. There's also another video that's just like this one. And make sure you subscribe.
Go Blue!
Ew.